Hello Seekers, welcome to Puneet's Astrology, your one-stop astro channel. Hello Seekers, welcome to Puneet's Astrology, your one-stop astro channel. No, this is not right. Let me start again. Hello Seekers, I know Mercury is in Capricorn retrograde. Message is distorted, but let me try to convey it again. Hello Seekers, welcome to Puneet's Astrology, your one-stop astro channel. Retrograde Mercury, once again, but this time in Capricorn. This time with Saturn. This time, it reaches the very edge of Capricorn, almost about to enter Sagittarius, and then it comes back. I've already made a video on Mercury transit in Capricorn for the full length of Mercury transit. You can watch that video in the description. The link of the video will be in the description box. But the thing is that the retrograde Mercury is a very different kind of Mercury when it is with Saturn, especially in the Saturnian zodiac. When Buddha is in Capricorn, Makara Rashi, it is actually in a very good position with respect to Virgo. But with respect to Gemini, it is 8th. So definitely it tries to destroy some attributes of its own house, or at least try to bring transformation, changes in the sign of Gemini. And when it goes retrograde, the house, the zodiac that gets maximum impact is Gemini. You need to watch out where is your Gemini, and that particular house, that particular bhava, that expression of life will get impacted because of retrogression. Now, if you observe the degree of Mercury and Saturn on the day of retrogression, which is 14th of January, Mercury will be about 16 degrees, Saturn is about 19 degrees. I'm not being very precise, I'm just giving an average approximation. So the Buddha is very close to Shani, and then it starts retrograding in the Shravana Nakshatra, and just at the time when the Buddha becomes Vakri, Surya, the sun, enters Capricorn. This is happening on the day of Makar Sankranti, the transit of sun in Capricorn. And when sun enters Capricorn, it is a Sun, Saturn and Mercury conjunction for the entire duration, and this is why the transit of Buddha is crucial. Remember, Buddha is information, Saturn is public, and Sun is the ruler, the king. Retrograde Mercury is going to create a lot of problems for people in authority, people in power. Saturn is trying to execute its own karma through Capricorn, Makara Rashi. But Buddha is trying to bring a change in the Mithuna Rashi, Gemini. Where is Mithuna Rashi with respect to Leo, the house of Sun? 11th. So we will see that there can be some protests throughout the world. We will see some sharp responses from diplomatic arrangements in the world. We will also see that in our own career, we may have to raise our voice, we may have to raise our concerns, otherwise it will go unheard. The Vakri Buddha means distorted communication. Shani is experience of life. It is the proper guidance, it is the maturity. And when Buddha goes Vakri, when Mercury becomes retrograde, it no longer behaves like a child. It is like a child who behaves like a matured adult, or an adult who has gone crazy. This distorted information of Buddha is relayed from Shani to Surya. And Buddha, which is the messenger planet, now seriously act as a proper messenger between father and son. Which also means that people who have employed Some people in the business will see some sort of communication gap. We can also see strikes. We can also see demands, some justified, some unjustified. We can also see that in our own life, we will become unhappy with our own experience, and we may have to rethink. But wait, because in Vakri Buddha, not all information can be trusted, so you will have to be very, very sure about the words that you are using, about the words that you are hearing, about what you are believing. Because after all, if you put Makara Rashi in the first house, the communication lord Gemini, the communication house Gemini goes in the 8th house. And the 3rd house, which is called expression for Makara, will be Pisces, which is the sign of debilitation of Mercury. So definitely communication sector is the hardest hit sector in this time frame. But because Rahu also aspects it, there can be some breakthrough in the communication, IT and telecom industry, some software industry. You may hear some sudden technological news, technological advancement. But on a very individual scale, person to person, the Vakri Buddha is actually going to impact in a slightly negative way, because Buddha is going to relay the message of Shani to the Surya from your karma to your soul. But if the message is distorted, then it will act like the whisper play that the kids play. The information was something in the beginning, and while it reaches the desired location, the information has changed. So you need to find out the actual meaning behind the words, actual meaning behind the information the life is giving you, and it is best not to take any major decision while Buddha is Vakri till 4th of February. It is a very small duration, 20-day approximately, 20-21 days. If you take any major decision while Buddha is Vakri without Buddha coming in close proximity to the sun, because the moment it comes very close to Surya, it goes combust. That means after some time, half-cooked facts, half-cooked information can lead to ego inflammation. And this Surya, Shani, Buddha is already under the aspect of Rahu. And this ego inflammation can result into bad experience, which you will only realize once Mercury goes direct, and you may regret your decision, especially if the relationship is between elderly and the younger generation, if the difference is of the opinion between husband and wife, two contrasting figures of society. You will have to have patience. You will become much impatient in this time frame. It will be that the message of Shani will be to go with experience, to calm down, but the Surya will simply consume the message and will behave in a very weird way, because Mars and Ketu is in Vrishchik, Scorpio, 11th from this combination. So this can act as a trigger for desire, trigger to explore. On one hand, this should be a transit where you are donating, you are giving, but you might assume it as a transit where you are being deprived, and therefore you will try to add, you will try to absorb. Don't bite more than you can chew. You have to observe the position of moon exactly on the day Buddha becomes Vakri and Buddha becomes Margi, direct. On 14th of January, Chandra, moon is exalt, but it is with Rahu. That means on the day Buddha, the Vivek, the mind, the consciousness goes retrograde, goes distorted, mind, moon, emotions are also with Rahu. So it shows heightened level of anxiety, heightened level of emotional distress, heightened level of emotional response. Suddenly mind trying to figure out the solution, the answer. you are moving away from reality, you are moving closer to the illusion, and therefore it is going to inflammate the ego, and then you will feel, no, I deserve, and maybe you will start a fight for that. But later on you will realize that you will not get it, because Vakri Budh cannot give you anything. Vakri Budh is more like going deep inside, doing a self-reflection of the information that you already have and what's best you can make from what you already have in your life. And that is called dharma of resource. If you see, if Taurus is the resource of the Kalpurush, Makara becomes the dharma of that resource. So whatever you already have, what best you can do is the right way to handle the Vakri Budh, is the right way to handle retrograde Buddha. But the good thing is that on the day when Buddha becomes Margi, when it becomes direct, Moon happens to be with Jupiter. That means whatever experience you will get initially, the illusion will start breaking the moment Buddha comes very close to Sun, the Buddha crosses the Sun, and the day Buddha becomes direct, Moon happens to be in Aquarius, second from this placement, second from this conjunction, and this gives the guidance in the right direction. That is why I'm saying for the first 7-8 days, 10 days of this Buddha Vakri, you might feel agitated and anxious, you might feel on top of the world, you might feel that you deserve, you might feel that you are capable. This can be a misbelief. This can be a belief system, a feeling, an emotion coming out from a virtual confidence or a super confidence. You have to be careful and you have to watch out for any red flags in your own attitude and behavior that can create problems. If you talk about Aries, whether it is moon sign or whether it is ascendant, then you have to see that it can trigger fight between brothers, it can trigger health related issue. For Aries, Mercury is actually half of Upchai houses, 3, 6, 10 and 11. If you observe, Buddha is the one half of your financial motion and the other half is ruled by Saturn. Both are together. Financially, from the perspective of job, this is not a good time. But for people who are already struggling from a very long time, will see a breakthrough. Any court related matter should be dealt carefully. Don't argue unnecessarily. For Taurus, Buddha rules 2nd and 5th house. It is more about family. It's more about love. You will see that there can be clashes between the younger generation and the older generation in your own family, maybe between you and your father. You will have to be careful. Your children might not listen to you. Your own body might not listen to you. That means your own productivity. Yoga, pranayama and holistic healing will be the key here. You will have to be patient. You will have to define what you are going to eat, because for Taurus, what you eat can actually control how your mind runs and how your thought comes into picture. If you are a Gemini, then definitely you are the one who are taking the maximum hit, maximum impact. So you should be ready for a physical and a mental transformation. But this may also means that the experience can be slightly negative. Be careful not to involve in any major investment. Be careful not to initiate wars for inheritance, and just ensure that you insure your life. You think about insurance and you think about security of you and your family. Don't take any unnecessary risk. This is not the time for adventure. For Cancer, Buddha rules travel houses 3 and 12. And this goes in the 7th house. So definitely this is the time where your marriage will be impacted. This is the time where you can see minor separation, minor scuffle between marriage. But the good grace is that because third lord is in the 7th house, if you really want to convey the message of life, the message of dharma to your own soul, you can bring that change, you can bring that transformation. Otherwise, this also shows that the family can disintegrate. You will have to take the matters in your own hand. For Leo, Buddha rules Dhanabhav, 2nd and 11th. So financially, you will see that you would be wanting to fulfill your ego, fulfill your desire by spending money. Maybe you can take a loan just to fulfill your desire. Don't do all of that. It's a matter of couple of weeks. Unless you are supposed to make that expense, unless you are bound to make that expense, don't try to inflame your ego and then quench your thirst by shopping. It won't make any sense. It will only drain the finance. It will take the money from the bank. Beware when you are lending money in this time frame. Virgo, well, you are the most profitable ascendant or moon sign, while Mercury will be retrograde in Capricorn because it is the 5th house. It is the churning of the ocean that will give you the Amrit, the light of Surya, but then you must understand through meditation how you can join experience and divinity. Your career will go under major transformation. Your livelihood will go under major transformation. Just don't create a fight with the boss or authority. Being humble is the key for a good time during this retrograde Buddha. Libra, for you, Buddha rules 9th and the 12th house. So definitely you can see that you are traveling because of your home or home related expense, shifting of home. All these things can actually get blocked. Or there can be out of nowhere desire to buy a property, to find a home. Maybe you're suddenly improvising. Either you are too fast or you're too slow. Be careful from that angle of life. Follow the dharma and help older women. Your mother's health can create concern. Watch out for that. Watch out for your own health, and you will try to seek happiness, but your happiness shouldn't be out of an ego. Remember that. Don't remember your past life. Don't remember your negative things. Doing a PLR, which is past life regression sessions, might be helpful because that might give you some answers which can help you understand your problems of life. Scorpio. Now you already have Ketu on top of your ascendant or moon sign, so it's already a lot of scrubbing happening in your life. Buddha rules your 8th and 11th house. Now, 8th and 11th house is by default one of the two of the mysterious houses. If Buddha rules this house and Buddha goes in the 3rd house, I will say you should create major change. How you talk, how you express yourself, your body language, everything should come under scrutiny. Because this is the time when you will take necessary actions to bring a change in your career, to prove a point, to show who you are, but unnecessary show of authority will be dealt with an iron fist by Shani. Don't show unnecessary power or your ability to act, ability to work. Rather, when your communication will show humbleness and proper coherent speech, you will become far more successful. Plan before you speak. Sagittarius. Now, if you are a Sagittarius ascendant or moon sign, Buddha rules your 7th and 10th house. Both career and marriage, a very, very important position. And when it goes in the 2nd house, it means the role of family becomes greater than your own self, than your own career, than your own fame. You may have to sacrifice few things. You will have to be careful what you speak and what you eat. Eat more green leafy vegetables, but overall consume less food. It can create trouble in your health. Give food to the needy. Serve the poor. Because Buddha is going from Shani to Surya. Surya is your Dharma, 9th Lord. It is going to give you the message of your Dharma. You will know what you are supposed to do. And for this 15-20 days, if you can meditate every day and pray to Lord Ganesha, then nothing better than that. Absorb this energy because you are going to understand some deep secrets. Capricorn, Makara. If you are a Makara Lagna or Makara Rashi, Capricorn moon sign or ascendant, this is all happening on your head. So the churning of the ocean, the message, the information, the distortion, the chaos, the beauty, the transformation, the beginning and the end, all happening on your head. That means your minds and thoughts will be all over the place. Don't try to understand anything during this time. This is like a vacation for you. Treat it like a vacation and note down every single experience from 14th of January till 4th of February, because that will come handy in future. Whatever interpretation of your experience you will have to do it after Buddha Margi, direct Mercury. But during retrograde Mercury, your personality can go into multiple transformation. You can know many things about yourself. Just don't show ego. You are about to go under one of the most important transformation, but this transformation will happen in your consciousness. Don't oversleep and don't break your sleep cycle also. Aquarius, for you, Buddha rules 5th and the 8th house, so beware of any speculative investment. People in stock market should be careful. There can be losses. You can have concern related to your own health and children. Eat carefully and prevent any major long distance or especially overseas travel in this time. And if it is unavoidable, chant Ganesh Mantra Om Gam Ganapate Namah 1008 times before you make that travel. This is the time when you will focus more on your losses and you will be desperate to cover that, and you will also get opportunities to cover those losses, to cover the gaps. You can take that opportunity, but then you also need to weigh out the pros and cons, because any random jump just because it fulfills your ego will become the cause of your own destruction. Be careful. Pisces, for you, once again, Buddha rules the 4th and the 7th house. That means half of your, or in fact, the family life in its entirety. Home, marriage, all these things will be impacted. But for you, it is a transformation for your own benefit, because this alters your expectations from family and marriage, expectations from home. Just don't inflame your ego. This may put you into a situation where you want to take a loan, start a dispute, because now you can no longer handle it. You can no longer absorb. You can no longer take. Wait for 15 days. It's a very short transit, because any attempt to break the wall in this time frame will meet with further resistance. Be careful. Focus on your own expectation and transform your expectations, your demands, your need. The needs and the wants have to be modified. Law of attraction will work for you. So when Buddha goes Vakri, this is how it will pan out for multiple ascendants and zodiacs. When the information is being relayed, don't believe everything. Media, journalism might also take a hit. You will see polarization of information. You should be the one who should go to the root of the information if you really want to, and then identify the problem by yourself. Don't believe, don't create any ideological belief system, but follow the facts. Buddha is moving towards light. That's the positive message. Seek the light. So that was a quick take on Buddha Mercury retrogression. I hope you like this, and if you like, please subscribe to my channel and share the video among family and friends. Follow me on Instagram and Telegram so that you get to know much more. And just a quick tip, a remedy. When Buddha is going towards Surya and it is going away from the Shani, feed the poor, help somebody become more confident in life, help someone understand the message of life, and you will see that you have played a role of the messenger in their life and the role of angel in their life. Help feed the poor and chant Ganesh Mantra, Vakratunda Mahakaya, Suryakoti Samaprabha, Nirvignam Kurume Deva, Sarvakareshu Sarvada.